Geico proudly presents the Sunday Night Anthem.
A perfect Sunday night for football.
It's time to go to work.
The moment is here.
Great day to be a Cowboy.
And 3, 2, resolve.
I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The tough get rough in a primetime fight. More than a game, it's every fan's right. That's why we're waiting all day for Sunday night. All right, what a night, it's finally here. Sunday night football's kicking into high gear. The stars have arrived, come on, get up and cheer. Hey Jack, it's a fact, the show's back in town. The Bucks and the boys in a nasty showdown. The stadium's rocking, time to crank up the sound. The NFL's best have come to play. Coast to coast, there's just one thing left to say. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. The tough get rough in a primetime fight. More than a game, it's every fan's fight. That's why we're waiting all day for Sunday night.
Oh my goodness!
It is showtime.
What a catch!
Waiting all day. Waiting all day for Sunday night.
3 nights before Christmas and about 90,000 in the house at AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, the home of the Dallas Cowboys. On a roll and led by their defensive star, Micah Parsons. Tonight taking on Baker Mayfield and the NFC South leading Tampa Bay Buccaneers as we welcome you to NBC's Sunday Night Football. Thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark down on the sideline. You hear a lot of the same stuff this time of year. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and that's a team you don't want to see in the playoffs. The last applies to Tampa Bay. They've been playing pretty well now.
Yes.
4 in a row, leading the division. Chris, they look a lot like they did last year. What are they doing well?
Well, they're hot on both sides of the ball. Good time for it, too, right, during this 4-game winning streak. Offense averaging 31 points a game right now. The defense, a league low, just 15 during those games. And I think with Baker's favorite target coming back, Mike Evans, all of a sudden this team looks very different and very dangerous.
It's been a fun day of football. Washington, a great win at home over Philadelphia. Unfortunately for the Cowboys, that knocked them out, so their run of 3 straight playoff appearances comes to an end. But they've won 3 of their last 4. What are they doing well right now?
Well, Rico Dowdle's sort of taken over the running game, and they've been running much better. But Micah Parsons, right, since he's come back in those 6 games, he's had 7.5 sacks, which is the most. The Cowboys have had 24 sacks, which is the most. He is a true difference maker.
This is a great place. Dallas has only won once here this season. Trying to change that, pull off a little bit of an upset here tonight. Big-time receivers, center stage. Pretty good matchup. Buccaneers and Cowboys. Let's do this from Arlington on Sunday Night Football.
Waiting all day for Sunday
Sunday
night.
Night Football is brought to you by Hyundai. There's joy. NBC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Always good to be back in North Texas, a matchup of division winners from a year ago. Tampa trying to get closer to winning the NFC South for a 4th consecutive year. Baker Mayfield trying to go back-to-back a short time ago. He spoke with Melissa Stark.
Baker, your offense is rolling on a 4-game win streak. What gives you confidence in this team down the stretch?
Starts up front. Those guys are playing unbelievable. The way they're able to establish the line of scrimmage in the run game and just protect me back there when we need to pass. It starts with those guys, but trust all of our skill guys as well.
You're facing a Cowboys defense that has a number of injuries. How do you exploit that tonight?
We just got to do our job. It doesn't matter who we play week in, week out. We just got to do our job, and that's the main focus for us.
You grew up in Austin, Texas. You won a high school state championship and a Big 12 championship here in this stadium. How special is it to play tonight in front of 50 family members and friends?
It's special. So surreal for me to be able to come back 7 years now in the league and still have that support from all the loved ones back home in Texas. So it'll be a fun one.
Thanks, Baker. Have fun tonight.
Appreciate it. Fun night for Baker Mayfield. Thank you, Melissa. So we are down to 9 teams left to represent the NFC in Super Bowl 59. There you see the Bucks, a half game ahead of Atlanta in the hunt column over there. The Washington victory eliminating the Cowboys' slim wild card hopes. So that Washington victory puts Dallas out of the playoffs. Mike McCarthy's team still playing for pride. On the Bucs side for Todd Bowles, they control the path to the NFC South. They take care of business these last 3, and they're the division champs and hosting a playoff game. Dallas won the toss and they want the ball. So Jake Browning called up for the practice squad. The punter is going to handle the kickoff duties for the 3rd straight game. There's the best kick return man in the league, Cavante Turpin. His average as high as anyone's had in over a half-century. White towels wave, over 90,000 on hand for a lot of folks. With the holiday break, this is their bucket list night to come into this place. It's a one-of-a-kind place in the league, AT&T Stadium, and see the Cowboys. Buccaneers, time now for our Accenture in-game update. Chris, Dallas eliminated when Washington had that big win at the end of the game against Philadelphia. You always wonder when your season ends, and Dallas was very unlikely to make the playoffs. How's a team going to come out? They've come out like they have the last 4 games ready to roll.
Well, I think Mike McCarthy probably was thinking the same thing. He told us, he's like, hey, sometimes you learn more about a football team when they're losing games than when they're winning games, and he's got to be proud of what he's seeing so far.
Hasn't lost the locker room. The guys have played well. The question is going to be on the defensive side, if they can keep the pressure on Baker Mayfield and maybe force some of those mistakes you talked about.
And it is hard to play your best football back-to-back weeks, and we're seeing that, I think, out of Tampa.
Tampa had a great win against the Chargers a week ago, struggling through the first quarter, down 10-0 after 1. We're back from Arlington after this from Accenture, the official business and technology consulting partner of the NFL. Tonight's SNF nights are provided by Nationwide. Right on the other side of I-30 from the stadium. Check out this light park here in Arlington. Kind of drive through. Pretty cool show. Been a good show in here so far for the hometown team. Highest scoring first quarter of the year for Dallas, leading Tampa Bay 10-0 as we begin the second. Ridiculous. His 13th 50-plus yard field goal. The Cowboys score on 5 of their 6 drives in the half. And just like a warm-up pitching wedge, it is the smoothest pass to the ball. Brandon Aubrey into the net from 58 as we hit the half. Melissa.
Todd, you came into this game down a few starters in the secondary. What's the key to slowing down Cooper Rush in this passing attack?
Just got to tackle better. We got to tackle. We missed some tackles underneath on 3rd down. Got to get off the field.
You told us that Baker Mayfield is hard to stop when he's in the groove. How do you make sure he stays in the groove in the second half?
Well, we get the ball first. We got to establish a running game to help him get in the groove. Then we had some drop passes. We got to catch those.
Todd, thank you.
Yep.
All right, so I don't need to tell you. They get the ball and start the second half. Todd took care of us. 27 points in that second quarter. 23-14 Cowboys trying to halftime now. And here's Marie.
Thanks, Mike. Well, you said it. We'll see Jaden Daniels and the Commanders next Sunday night, fresh off their wild win over the Eagles. And Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, and the Vikings couldn't be stopped in Seattle. What it all means for the 1 seed, coming up.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime. Let's go places.
Love those type of situations. Those are when it's on thin ice and plays need to be made. That's what you live for if you really love this sport.
And you made the plays, Jaden. Washington wins it 36-33, has 5 touchdowns, leads the team in rushing. What impressed you both?
Well, the gotta-have-it moments. The Eagles' defense has made every quarterback in football look average as of late, and they could not get off the field against Jaden Daniels, whether it was arm, his legs, 4th and 11 here. I mean, this is insanity with this kind of run, and then just one great throw and decision after another.
It's a rare combination of athletic ability. You said it, the arm talent, the ability to run. It's like a receiver running after the catch, but for me, line one with him, poise, composure. That's why you play well in the big moments, and he's got it.
On the other side of the ball, though, Jalen Hurts leads in the first quarter with a concussion. Kenny Pickett comes in. What effect does that have on the offense for the Eagles, Devin?
Jalen Hurts' playmaking ability, whether it's the zone read and him doing quarterback design runs or just scrambling on pass plays and no more tush push, that hurt them in the game.
Yeah, he's their gotta-have-it guy. Just like we talked with Jaden Daniels, it affected their run game. It affected the deep pass plays down the field to A.J. Brown.
You know, Pickett played well. He made a lot of good throws. They scored a lot of points with him. Devontae has the big drop at the end of the game. If he catches it, maybe we don't see Jaden Daniels at the end of this thing.
You mentioned how it affected the run game. Saquon Barkley had 109 rushing yards in the first quarter, but only 41 after that. But even still, he did close in on Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. All he's got to do is average 134 yards for the remainder of the season. I think he can do that.
So you're saying he's got a chance.
Meanwhile,
Absolutely
in the NFC
does.
standings, the Vikings just sitting there at 13-2 and impressing us all the way.
Well, it's the most disrespected 13-2 team I've ever seen. How many games, how many times does Sam Darnold have to play well until we believe?
He's played incredibly well, and it's a good environment in Minnesota. We know that, but watch the game. Watch how many instinctive plays he makes off schedule all throughout the game and in the big moments.
Right. That defense, this offense, they complement each other so well. They make all the plays to help win the game.
Just like Steve Kornacki compliments us.
Yeah,
Talk to us,
Steve.
Steve, about Minnesota's chances of getting that 1 seed.
Yeah, top seed. Well, look, the Eagles devastating. They're all but done when it comes to the 1 seed. The Lions with that easy win, 13-2, and Minnesota, the late win in Seattle, keeping pace in the record here. The Lions, for the time being, do have the tiebreaker over the Vikings. If the Lions beat the Niners next week and the Vikings lose to the Packers, Lions clinch the top seed. But if the Vikings can win next week, Week 18, Minnesota in Detroit, the number 1 seed, home field will be on the line, and because they're from the same division, the loser of that game would fall all the way to the 5th seed, and for the playoffs, go on the road.
All right, grab your popcorn. We're looking forward to Week 18. Coming up, the latest on the playoff picture in the AFC. But first, a funny, lighthearted message from Toyota about making the nice list.
Tonight's first half replay is presented by Progressive.
3 nights before Christmas, 90,000 in the house. Buccaneers and Cowboys. Let's do this in Arlington on Sunday Night Football. Rush, fires, end zone, touchdown. Tolbert the toes down. Irving breaks a tackle again and scores a touchdown.
He was just sizzling.
Zeke's got it. Touchdown, Dallas.
Does your coverage need a replay? See if you can save with Progressive.
Tampa ball to start the third. They trailed 23-14. Dallas on top. Time now for tonight's Buzz, powered by AWS. And good quarterback numbers both sides, including Cooper Rush, most passing yards and a half in his career. A lot of them, too. CeeDee Lamb has got 100. He's the first player in Cowboys history with 100-plus first-half receiving yards in back-to-back games. Not Michael, not Dez, not Drew, none of them. Meantime, the other side, offensive star Bucky Irving, the rookie, has 85 total yards in that, 47 yards on the ground, 38 after contact. And that next-gen stat points out what we highlighted earlier. 6 missed tackles forced in that first half. It's a season high in a half. So a little bit of how we got to 23-14. And Buccaneer ball to start the third. A moment ago with Mike McCarthy.
Mike, Cooper Rush, a career high in passing yards in that first half. How do you continue that for the rest of the game?
We need to do again in the second half. No, he's playing very well, doing a great job, particularly managing, a lot of defense are throwing at us. So we just got to keep it rolling.
And you guys came in with so many injuries on defense. How do you close this one out against a potent Bucs offense?
Yeah, we just got to keep playing. We need to get some takeaways, but I think our guys are doing a hell of a job. We just got to, keep leaning towards Mike Evans.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, thank you.
Third quarter, you think about the season, you start to look back and reflect. Tampa had a couple of overtime losses this year, a couple of losses to Atlanta, and that's given them very little margin for error. And that's why this second half is so important for the Bucs.
It's really significant now because we're talking about the last few games of the year now, and basically you're giving the hammer over to Atlanta if they come out of here with a loss in this game. So significant stuff going on for Baker Mayfield and this Tampa Bay Bucs offense.
In the NFC South, the story is the 1.5 game lead that the Buccaneers have, but you see not only the Falcons, the division record, but the key point is some of that earned by the sweep of Tampa Bay. And we will see Atlanta next Sunday in Landover taking on the Washington Commanders, 2 of the top 8 picks in the draft, quarterbacking teams trying to make the playoffs. Good one next Sunday night. Good second half here. It's that time, Mr. Grinch. 4:43 to go. Tampa Bay's got to come back. It's going to be an unhappy Christmas.
He gets around.
All right, so if Tampa can rally and come back tonight, they've got a 90% chance of making the playoffs, an 87% chance of winning the division. However, if they cannot erase this deficit, they need to score twice. The odds get tougher, and there's the rest of the road. Bucks have Carolina and New Orleans eliminated now with the action today. That's the remaining schedule for the Bucks, and both in Florida. Meantime, we'll see Atlanta against Washington next Sunday night here on NBC, and then they will close with the Panthers. We're playing some of their better football of the year. Their offensive coordinator, or their head coach, Dave Canales, was the offensive coordinator here last year with the Bucks. They're going to need about 37, 38 yards to have a reasonable shot at a game-winning field goal. Chevrolet postgame follows Melissa with the star of the game. We'll look ahead to the Falcons and Commanders. Beat the Buccaneers 26-24. If not for the bizarre play against the Bengals at the end, this team would have won 5 straight. You can hear Mike. So much respect. There's a lot of respect between those two guys. Two coaches been around the block here. So the Buccaneers lose, fall to 8-7. And now we'll have to watch and get a little bit of help. They are tied with the Falcons. Remember, the Falcons swept them, so they have the advantage. But Atlanta plays Washington on NBC next Sunday night. What a bizarre play. Rachaad White had it. Baker made a play and made a moment. But that moment was taken away by Deron Bland when he took away the football improbably. And that steal gets the team with the star in their helmets. A gut check of a win. And Tampa will make a frustrated flight back to Central Florida as Mike McCarthy's team has won 4 of their last 5. Season was over. Things look bad, but they have righted the ship, and they'll play Philly next week. Give the Eagles all they can. And for Todd Bowles, he knows that the Bucs no longer control what happens in the NFC South. Couldn't get a lot of offense going on the road tonight. Rachaad White and his teammates. This one will hurt. Got to bounce back their last 2. And Baker Mayfield trying to engineer a drive back in this stadium where he's had so much success denied. Cowboys by 2. Chevrolet postgame comes up right after these.